Okay, so I didn't have time to record the Flash review for the pilot last night, so I'm gonna do it really quick right now before I go to school. Um, it's really early, guys, so if I'm kind of sluggish, I'm sorry. So going in, I saw it with a few friends. It was really fun. We had a really fun time. If you're behind on Arrow, you don't have to necessarily you can kind of keep up with what's going on in there. Arrow does make an appearance, which we'll get to. Overall, I really liked it. It was a really solid episode. It's definitely more like, it kind of reminded me of Smallville in places where it's a little bit more light. Smallville got darker later on, but like it's definitely like the creators said, like it has a much more lighter feel to the whole thing. Like it's not, it has shades of Arrow here and there with just like some of the character designs and how the costume is kind of indicative of what Arrow is, like what his costume is, but overall it's very much its own show. Um I like the little Easter eggs they put throughout this. I was really looking forward to this. I know that it got leaked before, so I'm probably not going to get this much viewers on this particular review of this episode since this got leaked like months back. But I wanted to wait. I wanted to see it as it was intended to be seen on TV at its time. And just seeing this whole thing, it was really good. If you haven't been keeping up with Arrow, he was in the show before, and they kind of introduced him, gave him his powers, but in the show they kind of redid it, added a little bit more into it, went kind of into the whole Professor Zoom thing, if you've been following the comics, which I only know a little bit about. I do have the book, the Rebirth book, which goes more in depth into that. I should probably read that if I'm going to keep watching this show. Since Jeff Johns was the writer of this and also is the writer of this show. He's got his hands in like so many things right now. It's great. Like I enjoy his writing a lot more than I used to. Well, I didn't really know him before that. Like I guess I enjoyed his writing just as much then. But like yeah, he's been really quality shows he's been bringing out. But overall, I really like the direction they're going. It's kind of like a forensic cop show, kind of like Gotham, but very much different from that. Like it's lighthearted. Like you sort of see Flash get his powers. He's sort of like picked on before, and one of the funniest parts was how stilted one of the actors was about like halfway through when Barry, I think, breaks his watch or something. It's like, my father gave me that watch, and me and my friends were making jokes later on when he got shot in one of his ears that he just fell down. It's like, my father gave me those ears. So overall I really liked it. I really feel sorry for Barry though, because he really likes Iris and she has like no idea. That sort of thing goes back to like how Barry, before he got his powers, was just sort of just kind of decided like whatever, this guy's always late to everything, which I think is kind of fun too. We get more in depth in the episode into like his mom's murder, who no one believes that what he's saying. Like they think his dad, like in the comics, actually killed the mom, which Jeff Johns started that. I think before that he just got his powers by lightning and that was it. I think his parents were there. And yeah, it's a really good show. Really good effects. It's got like slow motion parts that don't feel indicative of Smallville at all. Like it's very much its own thing. I think after they saw what Quicksilver was doing, they sort of retooled what they were doing with theirs. Like there's some slow motion scenes that look really great. There's this scene in a coffee diner that kind of reminded me of Spider-Man a little bit, where like everything slows down and you see like all the cups of coffee fall down onto the ground. And like stuff like that is really cool. Like just sort of seeing his perspective. There's a scene where the guy in the wheelchair that made the particle accelerator, he's testing Barry and he's running around on the track, kind of like in the 1990s Flash series, which I also have an experience with beforehand. If you don't know what that is, it's kind of cheesy. It doesn't really hold up. It only lasted about a season, but then again, it wasn't marketed well. I think it's a decent show. And in a weird coincidence, they had a scene where like he was training and running around with a science character slash love interest called Tina. They did have an Iris in there, but she didn't really last long. And it turns out that the guy that played Flash in that show is the dad in this show, which I thought was really cool. Kind of a nod to like that older show from the 90s. Kind of bringing it like full circle, connecting things. I thought that was really awesome. I really enjoyed that. About halfway through here, we get him running around and he battles the Weather Wizard, which isn't called the Weather Wizard in there. One of my friends joked they look kind of like Woody Harrelson, which he does. Like, why is Woody Harrelson robbing banks? But I enjoyed the effects on those. I thought those were really well done. The biggest compliment I could probably give this episode is when I watched it, I felt like I was watching a movie. It's like complete from beginning to end. Like, it sets up his origin, goes like in the middle of stuff, like where he's fighting the villain, and at the end he defeats the villain, and it kind of wraps itself up pretty nice, besides a little cliffhanger at the end, which we'll get to. I liked the cameo with Oliver Queen. I didn't think that was going to happen so early, but I enjoyed seeing him there, especially with my anticipation for Arrow Season 3. There's this funny line after, like, he catapults down from one of the buildings where both of them are like, cool, and then you see Arrow break like his voice, and he's like, cool. It's just kind of funny. So I enjoyed seeing him there. They're gonna have a lot more of those, it being like a sort of like a, I guess maybe not a tie-in, what's it called? I guess a continuation from like another show. It's I can't think of the word. It's early, I'm sorry. But overall, I liked the show. I think it had really good effects. I felt like I was watching a movie. There was a cool Easter egg with Gorilla Grodd where we're walking past through like this experiment area, and you see this cage with like the bars ripped open. It says Grodd right there. I cannot wait to see what they do with him. Especially in the next episode, since they have the guy from Prison Break. He's playing Captain Cold. That's really cool. Flash has some of like the weirdest names for villains. But at the they heavily imply that Professor Zoom's going to be in there at the very end. It's really heavily implied that the professor, he gets up, stands up, and he can actually walk. And it's spoilers. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to spoil things. I've already spoiled a lot, but I'm going to put a disclaimer saying spoilers. He gets up, clicks on a button, and it's in the future, and it has Flash's picture. It says like 2055 or something like that. And he kind of looks at it, and then there's like a cut to credits. We see like a yellow and red, like it's heavily implied he's Professor Zoom. So that was a twist. They had a character before that had the same name as Professor Zoom in the show, so I guess that was like a red herring. So I'm interested to see where all that goes. And just in general, like, this is a much more lighthearted show. It definitely has its darker moments in it, but I really like the actors they got in this, and I am super stoked for Arrow tonight. So look forward to that. I'm going to have, like, a new intro. I'm going to try and do it today. If not, I'll do it next episode, but it's going to kind of tie into the whole Arrow, like, intro. Like, I spent 5 years on this island, so look forward to that really cheesy opening that I'm going to be doing, and hopefully you're going to be watching tonight's Arrow. Okay guys, I have to get to class, so I hope you enjoyed this review. Please like, subscribe, comment. What did you think of the Flash pilot? Are you really looking forward to future episodes from this show? What were your thoughts overall? Are you looking forward to Arrow tonight? And just tell me what you thought. Okay, see ya. So, before I forgot this part, but, if I were to rate this 3 out of 5, I'd probably give it like be generous. I'd give it like a 3, maybe hell, I'll give it a 4 out of 5. I really enjoyed it. I think you guys should check it out. Okay, see ya.